Hey everyone, 10 Outdoors 9. Thanks for checking in. Review of the 9mm Xtreme Penetrator from Lehigh Defense. I've had a lot of requests for this ammo and I'm curious to see what it's going to do myself. I will let you know that this review has been extremely frustrating to put together with regard to the outcomes. Very time consuming to get to where we're going to end up. And you'll see that in just a moment, obviously. But I decided to go ahead and post it, considered not doing so, but I think it's educational and you need to see this type of crap. Also, my frustration is going to come through at several points in the video, and that could be mildly entertaining, or not. This ammo was first released in 2014. I've yet to see any of this in the big box sporting goods stores, but upon searching the Lehigh website, it directed me to a dealer in my area. I visited the store and they had the Xtreme Penetrator and plenty of other Lehigh ammo on the shelf. I paid approximately $32 per box of 20 rounds. This bullet is solid copper, CNC machined from solid bar stock. It is non-expanding and also non-fragmenting. Lehigh claims that the progressive nose geometry allows for straight penetration while creating a permanent wound cavity diameter exceeding that of most expanding bullets. The radial flutes along the bullet length are supposed to enhance cavitation. And is it just me, but does this bullet design closely resemble a Phillips head screwdriver? Okay, it wasn't just me. I've shot only a couple of boxes at this point, but have not experienced any feed issues in a Glock 19. As for velocity, advertised as 1,150 feet per second, which is in the ballpark of 115 grain full metal jacket target ammo. Checking velocity in a Glock 19 4-inch barrel, my shots came in somewhat higher. Here are the 5 shots measured from 10 feet. The average is 1,212 feet per second, 375 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. Given the higher velocity relative to target ammo, I'm noticing slightly more recoil. Here are some examples with day and also night shots. We're going to start out with the block from Clear Ballistics, actually a pair of 16-inch blocks because I'm concerned about overpenetration. There are some water jugs for backup and I hope that covers it. Test shot will be from 10 feet with the Glock 19, and since this is a non-expanding round, a denim test may be irrelevant. Let's see what happens with this first shot. I plan to use the SimTest block regardless of what happened with the clear block. SimTest is water-based as opposed to synthetic, and I feel it provides a better representation with regard to penetration and cavitation, although that may not matter here. It's calibrated to be comparable to 10% ordnance gel. This block is 22 inches in length and weighs nearly 60 pounds. Also, I've learned my lesson with a pair of 32-inch pass-throughs in the clear gel, so I placed an AR-500 steel plate beyond the water jugs. Shots will be from 10 feet. You've got to be freaking kidding me. And we're back. Thanks for waiting. As you can see, I'm starting to lose a little bit of patience with this. And the bullet did bounce off that plate. It was still inside of jug number 4, so it stayed inside of jug number 4, but it did ding the back of the jug hard enough to make an impact on that plate, obviously. Otherwise, it would have been out in the backyard and it could have hurt a harmless squirrel, and we can't have that. So here's the bullet. We'll get some more close-ups and better lighting in just a moment. It did obviously ding that copper up just a little bit, but at this point, I don't care. I'm just trying to get at least one shot that will not have a complete pass through. Denim shot next. I don't know why I expected anything different. Ladies and gentlemen, it is official. I present to you the Hammer of Thor in 9mm. Another complete pass through. Let's go to this side, better lighting. And this one basically said screw me, or screw you, to me, and avoided that AR plate altogether. It passed through the second jug and down toward the bottom and keyholed out toward the bottom. So the denim had some type of effect on the trajectory, but obviously it didn't slow it down. So let's see if I can find the recovery bullet. If not, we'll go ahead and do the wrap up. Some folks may have checked out of this video after all these pass-throughs. I can certainly understand that. But a couple of quick points on the cavitation. First, this is the track for that bare gel shot. Obviously no expansion, but what I'm seeing here relative to other tests using this same test format or test structure. We have some cavitation running about a 1/2 inch deep, anywhere from a 1/2 inch to 3/4 inches wide, and that pattern is carrying all the way out to approximately the 12-inch mark. So that is a greater permanent cavity, without a doubt, than what I have seen in full metal jacket 9mm or any type of full metal jacket from a handgun. And it's actually not bad at all compared to what I've seen with cavitation from jacketed hollow points. So that's a plus, and that is performing as Lehigh has advertised it would. But again, you've got to keep in mind that extreme deep penetration. And finally, the denim shot with the sim test, not quite the same pattern that we have with the bare gel for whatever reason, but it's really tight. I'd say it's about a 1/4 inch, maybe a 1/2 inch in depth, no more than a 1/2 inch wide, and that pattern is running to about the 7 or 8 inch mark. This bullet is from the bare gel sim test shot, the one that bounced off the steel plate. Had it not been for that plate, it would have sailed into the backyard. And I actually looked out and found one of the pass-through shots resting on top of the ground in the backyard, approximately 40 yards from the block setup. This is probably a clear block pass-through, and I would suspect that the other is in the same vicinity. I'm clear. Well, hey, it won't penetrate AR-500 steel. I was kind of worried about that for a second, but what are your thoughts on this? I've given you my thoughts. Let me summarize that quickly. This is obviously a very well constructed bullet. Velocities are good. Penetration, way too much for me. I prefer 12 to 18 inches in my carry caliber, which is primarily 9mm. Every once in a while I might have a 40 or a 357 SIG, but 9mm is going to be my carry. I mean, if you want that kind of penetration, not on that, but if you want deep penetration, 22 inches twice, 32 inches twice, and water jugs on top of that in some cases. If that's the kind of penetration you're looking for in a 9mm, I mean, good grief. Just go with a 115 grain full metal jacket or 124 grain full metal jacket NATO and call it a day. So there's my thoughts. I'm not a fan of this ammo. Thanks for watching.